Very excited. Obviously, my first season, but 18 years in the program, but very excited for this season. Obviously, a lot of the preseason hype is because of the guys that we've got coming back, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to lead those guys and hopefully continue what we've been building here the last 2 decades. And looking forward to it. Obviously, everything that you've seen and heard preseason wise. We're excited with the pitching depth that we have. Obviously, to me, you win games with pitching and defense, and I think that's going to be a strong point for us. And I look forward between the experience that we got coming back, position player wise, and also on the mound to have a good season. And we're excited to get going. Guys have put the work in the off season. We got another week left this weekend of scrimmages, and then we'll be ready to roll next Friday.
What does it say about this program when you have two guys get drafted like Cole and Zarian, and they make the decision to come back?
Well, it speaks volumes of just where we have grown, because a lot of guys are afraid to kind of, I put in the words, gamble on that last year. But both of those guys have priorities. Their families have priorities, which most of our players do, and their families. Education is important, but they also believe that there's a higher ceiling for our program to get. And with both of them guys turning down professional baseball, coming back to finish their education or get closer to graduation, in Zarian's case, and then also to improve their game to where they feel like they can be ready to take that next step. And I'm excited, and I think it speaks volume. And this is the first year that we've had two. In the past, there's been an occasional one guy here and there, but most time when guys get offered as juniors, we've lost them. But having both of those guys come back and the experience they bring back is just an added plus for our guys.
What's it been like for you, Coach? Obviously, taking over this program after Mark Scaff's been so many years here, but I mean, you've been here now, for quite a few years yourself. What's that transition been like for you?
Honestly, Coach Scaff gave me a lot of freedom to do a lot in our program, and there is some changes. A lot of it's just more the administrative stuff, getting more emails and more phone calls and a few more speaking engagements and things like that. But the on-field baseball stuff has been really not a whole change, just a few minor things here and there. So I'm just looking forward to being in the dugout. Obviously, pretty much the decisions that fall in our program now fall on my shoulders, but I use our assistant coaches and everybody in our program to make a lot of decisions. We make sure we're all on the same page before I kind of make a final decision.
You got a guy like Greg Jones go in the first round, that huge for this program. A guy like Adam Smith coming in, potentially trying to fill that spot, but a little bit more added pressure where he has the pitching responsibility as well. How special can he be?
Well, being a two-way player at our level is hard. And his situation last year as a freshman, he got thrown right into the fire because Greg's shoulder was sore early, so we had to play Adam at short and DH Greg. But Adam got the experience that he needed. He got a lot of experience this summer, and we're looking for him to be, potentially one of our shortstops. He's been sick a lot the last couple weeks, and obviously we've got some other guys that have the potential to play up the middle for us. So between him and Brooks Baldwin and Jack Kroom and Jackson Meadows, those four guys will probably handle the middle of our infield, and then on, like you asked about Adam, with him being a two-way guy, if he's playing as a position, then he would probably be used more at the back end of a game from a closing standpoint. And right now we are not set on a true closer. We'll probably do it by committee with a couple guys.
Does that give you more flexibility in a lineup when he's a guy that can still bat?
Well, yeah. I mean, I really like our flexibility and with a lot of guys. You got Adam, you got Jackson who can play infield and outfield. You got Brooks that's an infielder and outfielder, played first for us last year and might play short and second and some outfield for us this year. So we've got a lot of flexibility, a lot of athletic guys. So I'm excited to just kind of get out there and finally put a lineup together, because right now we're split squadding it and you kind of see half of each of your team on both teams. But it'll be fun to put 9 guys out there and then start rolling with our team against somebody else.
You've been around a lot of UNCW teams. Do you feel like this is one of the closer teams you've seen as far as just how much they're together off the field?
I mean, we've stressed it since day one. It's not that we haven't stressed it in the past. I just think we've put more of an emphasis on it this past summer going into the fall. And, I do think this team's very close. I think they care about the guy beside of them. And you want everyone to be all about the team. Baseball is sometimes an individual sport, just like some other sports. But when it boils down to it, you got to be 35 guys and your coaching staff all on the same page. And I think we've done a really good job of being that way all fall and preseason.
Last year, you guys had to win to get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Basically, the last 2 years. Is there been a different message this year saying, "Hey, let's not be in that position where we don't even know if we're going to make it to the conference tournament"?
Yeah, I mean, our goal every year is to win the regular season and win the conference tournament and get to a postseason and then roll the dice and see how it goes. But I feel like our program has got good enough over these years to where if our guys and our program and our fans and everyone understand, like, we need to play well all year long because it's about building your RPI. It's about putting yourself in a position to where you don't have to roll the dice at the back end to get into the tournament. Our schedule's strong enough every year to be an at-large team, long as we take care of business. And for me, the formula to take care of business is you need to finish in the top 2 in your league and probably get about 15 to 20 conference wins. And then you need to win more than half of your midweek games. If you can do that, we'll be in the top 30, top 35 RPI every year. And then at the back of the postseason, you don't have to necessarily go and win 4 games at the tournament. You'll be an at-large team. But our goals are to, keep working, keep winning, keep getting to that next level. And then hopefully very soon we'll bust through a regional and take that next step.
How rare is it to have a pitching rotation like you guys do in college baseball? Obviously, you talked about when guys get drafted as juniors, most likely they're gone. But to have this type of experience and for your Friday, Saturday, no matter what day each pitcher pitches, how rare is that?
Just talking around with a lot of coaches, it's very rare. And from what I've seen, you're lucky to get 1 or 2 guys back. We're lucky enough to get all 3. That started pretty much Friday, Saturday, Sunday last year. I feel very confident adding Blake Deathridge in that mix of 3. So now, we got 4 guys, especially that first 2 weekends where we play 4 games on the weekends. So very, very excited. You can't neglect the experience because those guys have been through a lot. They've been out there and competed for us, and they've been through the conference. They know what the conference is all about. So I'm excited to just see however the chips fall, and we've got a good idea now what we will go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we probably won't make that true announcement until the end of this weekend. But I can tell you that Zarian, Roop, Giselle, and Deathridge will be our 4 starters unless something happens between this week. Knock on wood.
How do you manage the expectations for a team like this? I mean, you guys are talented. You're picked to win the league. Like, how do you go into the season with all these people thinking you're the best?
I mean, we talked about it yesterday. It's awesome for our program to be picked preseason and for 5 guys to be all CAA. But that's preseason. We just say just ignore the noise because most of the publications that cover college baseball have picked us to be the CA champions. That's great early, but it means nothing. It's just, where we want to be is at the back end of the season. And so our guys have done a really good job of just, it's good for them. It's good for our program. It's good for recruiting. But bottom line, it means nothing really when it's all said and done. And our guys understand that.